Hello and welcome to my next web series video. This one specifically targeted to those who are working on getting a new job, moving into a new career, whatever it might be. My name is Lisa Erickson, and at Graduation Alliance, my role is that of the College and Career Coordinator. So this fits under what it is that I am in charge of, and I'm here to hopefully give you some good tips that will be beneficial to you as you start to do interviews. Sometimes the interview piece of finding a new job can be very difficult. There are so many unknowns that go along with the interview process. Everyone's going to look at it differently, and it can be nerve wracking, especially when you don't know if you are fully prepared. So, doing what you can to put yourself in the best position possible and to be as prepared as you possibly can is really going to help in this process. So, we're going to go over 5 steps or 5 tips, if you will, that can hopefully help you as you move through this process. This first step is very important. Always be sure to research and know details about the company that you're interviewing at. It will never be a good idea to go in blind and just say, oh, I'm just going to hope for the best. Instead, you want to take the extra time to look into this company, to review their website, see what they offer, see what their goals are, their motto, all of those things. You can even go on social media. You can look at posts that other people have made, comments, reviews, whatever it might be. And then you can take all that information and try to apply it to you and think, oh, now I know the company does this, and in my experience, I've done this, and you can try to make those connections and see that fit. And if you can see that and have that in your mind going into the interview, it's going to be so much better. Next, practice your answers to common interview questions. There are a lot of questions that are asked very commonly. I mean, we see them time and time again. They're not surprising. You'll sometimes get those ones that come at you that you might not be as prepared for, but you can take the time to prepare as much as possible. And the first thing I would recommend is kind of coming up with your own little pitch. Tell me about yourself and why you're interested in this role with our company is something that you will often hear. So have that in mind. Think about that. I'm going to first talk about my background in this. I'm going to talk about my education. I'm going to talk about my skills, whatever it might be. And then from that first question, making those connections to this actual company, right? So if you research and think about your own personalized answers to all of these often asked questions, you're going to put yourself in a good place. The next step is practicing your answers out loud. This can be such a great way to prepare. Okay. You can say them to yourself. You can look in the mirror. You can just practice, looking at a question and saying an answer. You could ask a friend, someone who can sit in front of you and kind of fill that role as the, you know, interviewee, if you will, or interviewer, as you are the interviewee, and help you run through questions and answers. That way, you might kind of get some of those jitters out a little bit too as you've practiced this with someone in front of you, especially someone that you know and trust. And hopefully, you'll find even more confidence as you start to say these words and you have these things, they're clicking in your mind, and you've been able to verbalize them once. It'll be that much easier to verbalize them again. Be prepared with examples of your work. Think back. What have you done when it comes to past jobs, past volunteer positions, working with other people, interacting? Think about all of your experiences, the successes that you've had. If your job happens to be something where you're going to be working with customers, think about past experiences you've had in customer service that were very positive. And if you have some of these things in your head, it'll be easier to recall them and then tie them back to your own skills, your accomplishments, and hopefully answer any question that someone is going to ask you about your own examples. The last tip or strategy I want to go over with you is making a great first impression, because that is going to stick with the interviewer. That is, make sure those small things are covered. Make sure you look good, that you present yourself in the best way possible. Make sure that you have maybe a resume ready with you and that you're able to show that to them and put that right in front of them, and that might be impressive. You want to be confident, you want to smile, you want to be as much your own authentic, positive self as you possibly can be. Okay? Once your interview is over, or kind of the end of the interview, they might ask you if you have anything that you want to ask them. It's great to have some questions ready, maybe about the company, maybe about the next steps in the interview process, finding out what you need to do or how long it will take, or whatever it might be. Those are great things to ask. You might also, once the interview is completely over and you've gone home, you might want to send a little note. Thank your interviewer and reach out to them and say, "Hey, I appreciate your time. That meant something to me, and I look forward to hearing from you." Okay. So I have my reference down here, these great tips from Indeed.com. There's others out there, but these were the 5 that stood out to me that I think can really benefit you. So make sure you are following these steps. Think this through, adequately prepare, and put yourself in the best place possible so you are ready to interview when the time comes. I wish you luck on your interview process, on your job hunt. And if you have questions or concerns, please reach out to me directly. Thanks so much.